Being for the first time at the first World Communications Forum regional edition in Moscow, it's a great pleasure. I'm Maxim Behar and I come from Bulgaria, and I'm running also Hill+Knowlton in Prague. So usually I sleep in the airplanes and I have my lunches and dinners at the airports. And I'm not typical, most probably Bulgarian, not typical Czech, but just a friend of the world communication community. I was a speaker at the opening session, which was quite interesting and also quite controversial, because it put a topic about the global and the local communications, which is on one hand very important, but on the other hand we came into conclusion that the good chemistry and the good mixture between the global experience of the companies and the global needs of the companies, and also the local teams, knowledges and expertise, at the end of the day it's the way out of any PR case study or PR issue. So there is no global, there is no one meaning. In fact, there is no only global and not only local. So we were discussing for about 2 hours how can we combine those two elements of a big issue called modern communication. So that's why I think that there is no global, no local, but it's modern. And modern in the nowadays world means today's, because tomorrow it might not be modern anymore. There are global companies, clients, there are global clients. There are global public relations companies, and there are global marketing and advertising corporations, of course. But the local ones become more and more global because of the social media, because of the enormous and immediate exchange of information and knowledge between all the consumers all over the world. So I think that concerning the experience and the needs and the expansion, of course, and influence, there are global companies, but each of them needs a local expertise to promote its services or goods. No, local is absolute advantage, and there is no discussion, because a French company cannot be, at any price, cannot be better than a Russian company in Russia, and then a Lithuanian company in Lithuania, or a Bulgarian company in Bulgaria. Of course, the international companies, they bring their expertise, they bring their knowledge. I would say even more, they bring their values, because all our markets, some of them even in the European Union, are emerging markets. No matter of the size of the market, because Russia is an emerging market, China is an emerging, India is an emerging market, Bulgaria, Czech, Poland. These markets have their economies in vast transitions. So having in mind that usually the global companies come from the developed markets, I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of things to be learned by them, a lot of expertise to be studied, but being a local professional company is enormous advantage compared to any other global company. I think that a company should be global if it operates in more than 3 continents. Let's say this way, because a European company operating only in Europe cannot be global, because our business is very Anglo-American. And on the other hand, an American company operating only in the US cannot be global, because it's only one side of the experience, only one side of the medal. There are many others. So a company which has an offices in the US, Europe, India and China, I think should be considered as a global company. That's the global expertise, because they can gather many different cultures, mentalities, many different case studies for one single client. Let's say the client like Coca-Cola. I mean, people in different countries accept not only the product in a different way, but they accept the American culture, which Coca-Cola is a symbol in a completely different, the American influence, the American characters. So McDonald's as well, British Petroleum, whatever. There are thousands of examples of global companies which for sure need a local expertise in order to rely on a service company like public relations or advertising or marketing or even legal advisors and many other service companies which know well the local culture, the local mentality and the local system of relations. So that's why I was saying in the discussion this morning that a good chemistry between the global expertise and values and the local knowledge might bring only success. No, absolutely global. Because throughout my life I've been living in many countries. I don't think that there is a continent, or no, I haven't been to Latin America. That's the only place in the world I haven't been. But first of all, we serve a lot of international clients, both in Bulgaria and in Czech Republic. In my office in Sofia, more than 100 people, and usually our internal language of communication is English language, just because of our international clients. But also, having experience in Czech for the past 1.5 years, I realized that knowledge of the local culture and the local mentality is crucial one. I do consider myself as a global communicator, but when I go to a separate country, to a different country, really I invest a lot of hours, sometimes days, to study the culture and the mentality of each country. So, okay, it's not enough to buy a ticket and to go all over the world by plane to be global. In order to be global, you should be clever and you should understand that the local culture and the local details are crucial for any global vision. Don't mind the size, look at the smile of the people.